And we're live.
But where's Craig?
Oh, you want to use Craigbot?
No, you use whatever you want to use.
I've just been recording directly to the deck because it separates your audio from mine.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I was just giving you shit.
of
I don't
course you
really
were.
care.
Actually, I need to use the deck to record audio since OBS isn't recording anything anyway.
The Trouble with Peace.
Yes, the
by
trouble with peace.
Joe Abercrombie. Age of Madness trilogy.
Age of Madness book 2.
Such book. Much wow.
I guess you liked it, Nate?
No, I'm enjoying the series just because it's not all, I don't know, it doesn't get crazy quick. Like there's so many different plot points that are just kind of like slowly working their way together. And I just really like how it's like everything's being told, being formulated. I'm enjoying the characters. Glock is my boy.
Yeah, I was, yeah, like I think it's a series that feels very grounded. There's nothing that's
Yeah.
just there because the author wants it to be there, right? Like it's
There's
you
no
know, everything-
bullshit.
There was no mention of cannons in the previous book, were there?
Yes, there was.
Was
We
there?
talked about that last time. Yeah,
No, we talked
Where I
about.
said I was-
we talked about if there was going to be cannons, because you said you were surprised there
Yeah.
was no muskets, and I was like, I think cannons would be first.
They mentioned that they had been using them in one of the campaigns earlier on, and I was like, oh, I'm surprised that they have cannons but they don't have muskets yet, because I felt like it was easier to hammer weld pipes to make like a rudimentary like blunderbuss kind of musket versus the process of fuck, I'm forgetting the word, like setting up a
cannon
mold
or something.
Yeah, setting up a big mold for a big steel can, like big iron cannon kind of
cast?
thing. Yeah, cast. Thank
Although,
you.
I'm not sure of the history. Did we have cannons before we had blunderbusses or muskets?
Well, I
I
forgot
thought they
to
were
look
like
it up.
around the same time.
Yeah, I
Because they were
felt-
like, ooh, I've got this thing. Let's make this but a bit bigger.
Are you sure? But the thing is, was it that way, or was it, hey, I have this big thing. Can we make it smaller so we can give it to every
Yeah.
single infantryman?
that's why because like pipes already existed, right? So it'd be easier to take existing pipes and just like create like a chamber wall on one side and then just have like a charge go at the other end. So I thought that would have been easier than doing the cannon first, but I forgot to actually look up the history on this to be 100% sure.
We literally had this conversation last recording.
We did.
Kinda,
Exact same conversation.
Yeah. And I
so,
didn't look it up.
Conversation.
I was just being lazy.
So, last episode we really didn't like go over what happened in the book. Like typically we'll go over like the story. We just completely were just like left and right talking about different things, like
Made out with your sister.
They're excited. It was a good book.
I think in some ways it's kind of hard to talk about like the plot in these books, just because like it's more like a capturing of a society in a specific point in time than it is like a specific narrative.
Do you think it's harder to explain the book because, like, I feel like you don't need to read the other books, but it definitely
No.
helps.
Well, it helps with, I think, gives you that emotional
Okay.
attachment for a lot of stuff, or expectations, like things we're looking for, and like, is this person going to show up? Is this guy going to be referenced? Kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
but also
Well,
like you're
even,
gonna
Yeah.
even them just referencing the Bloody Nine so much in the first
yeah, they're
book,
referencing the
it's
Bloody
like,
Nine. They're talking
the
about
fuck is this guy?
about Baez like destroying the fucking Agriant and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, what
You'd have to
happens
read
here?
the book itself.
Yeah.
You don't
You wouldn't-
have to.
you don't-
You don't have to because it's its own self-contained trilogy. But like, it gives you like it's just flavor text at this point. If you
It just
hadn't
gives you
read
Yeah.
it.
so much more depth, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it immediately grounds the series in something you're familiar in. So it gives you a lot more. I don't think you necessarily have to. It's just one of those things where, like, I don't know, like say like I'm reading like a different series at the moment called Lightbringer. Like one of their deities is called Old Hollum. I don't know anything about Old Hollum except for what the book is telling me at the moment. Like if there was a different series where I was already aware of that god, it would make it more obvious to me, but I don't
Yeah.
need that to be there right away.
Yeah, I agree. Just certain stuff because we've read the previous, like Glocta, they always talk about him being the most dangerous guy, and you're like, well, I get he's like part of this Inquisition thing, but what really makes him dangerous as a person? And
That
if
he
you didn't
just
read the
doesn't
previous
give a
books,
fuck.
yeah, if you didn't read the previous books and understand who he is as a person, then you're like, you just
This
don't
guy
have that
doesn't seem
weight.
so bad.
So I have to
Yeah.
ask, is Savine carrying Orso's bastard or Leo's bastard?
Well, it sounds like she thinks it's Leo's.
Or she's just telling herself she thinks it's Leo's.
Could be, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if it was my brother, I would probably want to tell myself the same thing.
Yeah.
I should have double checked. How long did she say that her period was late?
4
I
months.
mean, that's not something I really pay
believe
attention
it was
to.
4 months. When
She said 4 months at
yeah,
that time.
like when she got ambushed by the two moms about like the whole proposal thing, they were like, "It's been 4 months. Come on."
Well, I'm talking about. Well, I guess that was almost like the same day, wasn't it? When she was at the society meeting, doing a lot of coke, and she like has to leave and throw up with her handmaid or whatever.
Yeah. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think 4 months is like a hard time to nail down the exact date of conception. But I don't think it's impossible. I think they might be more aware, but maybe she didn't tell her mom that she was fucking Orso that night.
Yeah, when they ambush Orso, when they ambush Leo, she's like, "At the moment, it seemed more like he'd faint than he should have. We've met just the once, the same number of times they'd fucked. Might have been better not to think about that, but now he couldn't stop. When was the last time in Ottawa? 4 months ago? Yeah.
Okay.
So we
I
assume-
maybe we should talk about Leo's decision to rebel and like how that came up. It's so weird for me. Like I was not.
It's like he's definitely just being played like a puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some
He's
reason, I feel like
just-
Leo and Orso would have talked it out prior, like to the before the boiling point that they.
Yeah, that
got to?
Aisher guy definitely isn't helping.
You know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
know. I feel like Leo's characterization was that he is a person that once he decides something, he's so much of like a bigot and prejudiced person that he just like locks in on it 100%.
yeah. I know, just weird. Like they had that one meeting, right, where he like blows up in front of the king, and I'm like, I get that part, but then no, they didn't really talk about as people after that. For some reason, I feel like
Like the
would
chance
have?
they had to talk.
I think I
Orso
wanted
was
that
like,
scene.
Orso was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be here. I don't want to be at this wedding. So he just fucking dips, and it's like, okay, there goes that situation.
Yeah, I think it's more like I wanted that scene because I like Leo, even though he's kind of like weird. Like he's just like a fun character. So like you want him to like not do the betrayal thing. You're just like, no, Leo, please don't do this to me. Okay, I care about you, but at the end of the day, like it felt natural. He was just like a rube.
Yeah. he definitely got played.
Ignorant country boy got played by
Yeah.
the machinations of nobles.
Then there's that whole little subplot of like, is he going to come out or is he not going to come out of the closet there?
Oh man, that shit was so
Yeah.
funny. Actually, I love that whole scene where he's like walking into there and then like just observing everything and then talking to the guy. It was a great. I forgot the guy's name, but I love that conversation with the guy.
The other
And then
king?
him leaving. Yeah, I was like, this is great. And then Orso coming in and like seeing how Orso handles it. I just love all of it. That was one of my favorite parts of the book, to be honest. Also, man, Orso got fucking grew by the end of the book. Like their last conversation before the fight, how Orso was like handling. I was like, this guy is fucking
Well-
faking it till he makes it, or he's just fucking
Savine
growing.
did warn Leo, like, yeah, no, don't underestimate him. The guy might not be a warrior, but he can use his mind.
Yeah, but he was never that savvy in the first book, right?
I think he downplayed it. He definitely
no.
downplayed it.
I think
Like
he
his
was.
confidence was so big in that last interaction. Oh, before the fight, right? Like his confidence
Yeah.
going into that, like it was so much better and greater than anything before. I mean, I guess I forgot the name of that king that he did have the conversation
Japo.
with. Yeah, you could kind of see him going in that direction, but man, that final conversation, I was like, wow, that's Orso's fucking handling his shit right now.
Yeah, he definitely progressed. He's like, you know what? I tried to be the good guy. Fuck all you bitches on this one, honestly.
But then immediately after that, his meeting with the other king, King Japo, and then he walks in on that other guy with his other friend just boning,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like he's like, I'm not sure if I'm angry because I want it to be me or I'm angry because they're perverts.
That's still my favorite way to like homophobic way to refer to gay people is just like they're perverts, and it's like, okay, dude, you're the one watching. Who's the pervert here?
Oh man.
So how are you feeling about some of the different characters?
You know, I really thought that Glocta was doing a double bait.
Me too. I'm actually disappointed that
He's not.
he's not.
That he's not. Yeah.
It's very
I was
not
like-
Glocta. Or unless he's just I'm so old now, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's okay if Glocta steps away because, like, you know, the dog man died. Everybody's falling out, right? And so like
Yeah.
this new thing's coming in, and I'm okay with that. But I was really sitting there the whole time. I'm like, come on, Glocta, this is a double bait, right? You're trying to step down. You're actually secretly the Weaver or whatever. Like you're trying to help the peasants, and then it ended up being Pike, and I'm like, this is okay. It's not
Like-
what I wanted, but this is okay.
I didn't mind Pike, but you're right. I was hoping Glocta was the maestro in a sense, right?
Yeah.
But Pike kind of makes sense too, right? They have very close interaction with each other for a long time. He has that deep history, being commoner, being
Yeah, my only
An
problem
inmate,
with
stuff like that.
Pike, my only problem with Pike is like he's just a background character, or like he.
Not anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I just mean like he's a character. I don't know. He didn't have much individual characterization, right? Like his job, he just had like a job, which was to be like spooky, right, and just do what he's told to do.
But I think that's what makes
And
it a surprise at the end is because he treated that character that way.
Yeah,
And
but
it-
it's a surprise that's like. See, if it would have been Glocta, I would have been like, see, I've been predicting this the whole time. I feel so excited.
Yeah.
And like, while I wasn't predicting Pike, it was just like, because I was like, I don't know, this feels like a slightly more boring answer, I guess.
That's fair. Now, imagine if you read this book without the history of knowing who Glocta was. Like, if you read the first trilogy, like this was your entry into this universe, you wouldn't have
Sure.
that expectation either, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I like that twist. I mean, Glocta's still not out, right? He can be doing other stuff.
can
We
come
still have
back.
one more book, yeah. And we've seen like how the third book panned out in the first trilogy.
Do you think he's our Darth Plagueis for
Could be.
our
Yeah, this whole book
Okay.
feels like a Force Awakens shit.
Well, I hope not.
Stour is fucking Stour is Kylo Ren.
what's it called? AU instead of the EU?
What do you mean, the expanded universe?
Yeah, like what does Disney call the old canon?
Oh, Legends.
Legends?
Like, they call it Legends now, but
Legend.
before Disney, it was just called the expanded universe.
Yeah, I'd rather have Legends style storytelling rather than modern day storytelling, if I'm at all honest. But yeah, no, I don't know. I really like Glocta. I really like I have so much respect for the like, hey, my daughter's involved with this. I gotta step down, and it's just like, fuck, that is the most Glocta thing I've ever heard in my life, especially like because he wasn't like a ringleader. I thought it would have been like extra cool if he was, because it was like a really cool double bluff.
Yeah.
But like, no, I'm like, yeah, this is in character. He's just gonna go chill out on an island somewhere or something. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, maybe. But we'll see. I mean, the way the book ended with where Savine is, he might go, fuck, I got to be back in play too.
We shall see.
stillborn inbred child, and then they'll be like, "You do love me."
High on coke. The
High on
child's just
coke.
coked up. Little
But
druggy
she's
baby.
still drinking. She's still drinking. She's still doing pearl dust. We don't know if it's an
Yeah.
inbred bastard. Like, that kid's got all the odds stacked against him.
I mean, the way it ended is going to be interesting, right? Leo's all fucked up, and
As well, he should be.
yeah,
He should be
yeah.
in prison for forever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then now we got the another rebel uprising being in play, and you're burning down the banks, so you know Baez is going to be
He ain't happy.
Baez probably going to be pretty heavy into this next book.
We got Yoru
Yeah.
just flexing on people, just eating people like out in the open, kicking ass.
Yeah,
See, I told you that because of the mining thing, we were gonna see like a steam engine kind of thing pop up, and it was here in this book.
I mean, it really did pop up.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad.
That was-
you guys can't see this, but we're shaking our heads
Yeah.
very hard.
I mean, the people
Um,
watching on YouTube can see it.
Yeah.
Did you like that scene? Like, I thought it was like,
When
'Cause
the steam engine explodes.
yeah, because it told like it did like 12 different perspectives.
Yeah.
And they did it a couple times in this book where it was just like, we're gonna do like 10 different perspectives of the same scene going on,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna start like, 5 minutes like intervals kind of thing, and we're gonna do it like 12 times. It's gonna hop around a lot. And I was like, I
I'm
get
okay.
what's going on here.
I'm okay with it happening. I think they needed to cut back the number of individual perspectives that we saw.
I think if that was like a TV show, it'd be much better. Like in a book
but
form.
reading it seemed very tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, and they did it 2 or 3 times in this book.
yeah, they did
And
it
I'm
once during the battle with the cannons and the spearmen and the pikemen. They did it with the steam engine.
Yeah, I think it worked a lot better in the battle because that gives you a way of like tracking the progress of the battle.
Yeah.
But
like, yeah, when in
Whereas-
the steam engine scene, it's like, all right, they're cutting to this one woman who's missing an arm who fought against the Gurkish when they were trying to invade Adwa, and it's like, I really don't care about this lady.
Yeah.
yeah, Ajuar. Yeah, I don't know. It was I don't know. At the end of the day, I think I liked it. At the moment, I'm like, what is this scene? You know,
After
it's
you
just
like compile it all together in your head.
yeah,
It's definitely
Yeah.
a bit tedious when you're reading it.
yeah,
It's fine. I see what he was trying to do. And it's fine.
yeah. I can 100% see the TV scene of this where it all makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Well,
Here's how the TV scene works. You follow one character, and then the explosion happens, and then you have like the credit sequence, and then you spend like the next like 20 minutes of the show doing all the different characters that lead up to this moment. I think that's how the screenplay gets written.
yeah. Sounds right.
It reminds
Sounds
me
fine.
of it reminds me of a movie with Forrest Whitaker. I can't remember the name of the movie, but basically, like, there's an assassination attempt, and like it tells the story from like a bunch of different perspectives. It's such a terrible movie.
Oh, is it the one where they kill the body double version of the president or something like that?
I think it might be that one. It's been a long.
Wasn't it called something like Perspective or something like that? Because
It has something to do with perspective, yeah, but I can't remember the name of the freaking movie for the life of me, and it was just so. It was not a good movie.
I don't know. I don't think it was that bad of a movie, but it was a little. It was like just like a little rough.
Vantage Point was the name of the
Point.
movie.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because we had like 5 different characters, and depending on what they saw, they all did different things after the assassination attempt or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that movie?
How do we feel about Dogman's daughter?
Like in the beginning of the book, I'm like, oh yeah, it's just good old Rika, and then all of a sudden she's just like little by little turning into like a cutthroat badass type person.
Yeah, I didn't like the whole.
You have to make
It
your
was
heart
like
of
a-
stone.
Yeah, I didn't like the whole sequence where she's like getting the tattoos that whole like chapter was very much a blur to me.
Oh,
But I
because
think that
like
was
she
the
keeps
point.
going through like different time periods.
Yeah, and like, but I like that was the point, I think, and ultimately at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm okay with it. It was one of those things where I'm in the moment again, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
well, because like the
this
thing
is
is,
gross.
like the one thing that bothered me is that like they just dedicated that one chapter to kind of like showing how she's going mad or how that long eye is affecting her, as opposed to like doing it over several chapters, little by little. It's just they just force it
Yeah,
all on you in one chapter. I think that was the
Mhm.
problem with it.
yeah, I think that's fair. Um, yeah, no, but like, I liked Rika's characterization. I think it's very smart of her because she's like done with Leo's shit after the end of the first book, right?
Yeah.
And um, I like the way that it works with like her prophecy from the first book, in that she like kind of betrays him, and that leads to the lamb eating the lion, right? Um, and then she goes and does her own thing to fuck up Star Nightfall, and like all of her prophecies come true. I was like, this is very cool. I enjoy this.
Well,
I
the
like
witch did say it's not about the visions you see. It's about how you make them happen.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, that witch was the witch from the first trilogy, right? The one that got axed in the head by Black Dow, or was it Dogman that axed her in the head?
I don't know if we can say for certain. Um,
Oh no, actually, I
but
think
yeah,
it
it
is
seems
because I
likely.
think they used her name, Quarib, whatever the hell her name is.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll be honest, I would have forgotten the name because I'm bad at names. Um,
Fantasy names.
Yeah, that is one thing that definitely kind of makes some of these books a little bit of a drag. Is like trying to remember all these odd names. Like, just give them normal
Yeah.
names.
That's how I feel all the time about this stuff. Is like, ugh, names are weird.
which Janice? Yeah, I don't know. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the book. There's some
I do. I will say this book
lulls in it.
definitely felt like a middle point of a story.
Yeah, which makes sense. It's book 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Can't be me. Can't be that mad.
No, it expands a lot of the politicking, right? Beyond of
Yep.
those characters, and so I enjoyed it for the most part. The way it ended makes me excited to see where the next book's coming out, which doesn't come out
Until September.
till September. So
It was nice to see
Oh.
Vitari's back and kind of just playing the other side now, but in the same exact role almost.
Yeah, that was really cool. Because it was funny in the audiobook, and I'm like, wait, this is the voice the guy does for Vitari. Is this Vitari? And like, it was like before it was revealed that it was actually her. And I was like, oh, hey, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I
when
like
he
that he did
mentioned
the voice.
when they describe her hair, I was like, wait, is that who I think it is?
Yeah.
so maybe the Bloody Nine will be in the third book.
He's an
Dude, that'd
old.
be
He's definitely
awesome.
a
I'm
fucking
telling
old man by now.
That's Galactus play, man.
Even
That's
though
my
he's just
hope.
even though he's just kind of like not doing anything.
He's
You
just
think
keeping
he's
him. Galactus
think
is
he's
keeping him in the back pocket.
Yeah.
yeah, but so then how would Glocka get him to show up?
He just
Oh.
says Baez is there.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
kill him.
yeah. And Bloody Nine's like, yeah, fuck
just
Baez.
point him.
And Glock is like, fuck Baez, right?
You
So
don't
they're
Yeah.
like,
yeah, but you
we
don't
both
think
want to
like
fuck him.
yeah, but you don't think the Bloody Nine would just be like, I'm old. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Well, remember,
for revenge?
I got my hut out
remember
here in the
how
country.
angry Logan was with Baez once he found out that Baez like kind of pulled all those strings and like kind of shaped the path that his life would go through.
Yeah, and he lost Pharaoh Pharaoh. She's such a forgettable character at the same time.
I'm surprised she hasn't appeared in some way, shape, or form in this.
Yeah.
Like maybe she'll appear in the next book. I don't know, but I would like to see her
I don't
show
know.
up again.
Why should we? Why would she go hang out with the stupid pinks? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, they've had how many more like skirmishes in that Gurkish area? So Like she has to eventually show up again.
They haven't had any skirmishes in the Gurkish
Well,
area.
they have. Didn't they have a couple more battles with wars with them after the initial war in the last trilogy?
No, Baez went and fucked everything up, and then he went to go fuck up things in the other places. Is what they said in this book, I think.
I know
That's how I remember it.
They've had a number of wars. We can just say that much. We know that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once Kalul's dead, I think that's all she really wanted, I think.
Yeah, but she
I
did.
don't even think she cared about Kalul.
I think she just wanted to kill as many Gurkish as possible.
Yeah, but then she speaks to the demons, right? Or
She hears them. She hears them.
Hears them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she can't like fully communicate with them, right?
Well, maybe she can over time.
Maybe,
I don't know.
She develops that ability.
Yeah. Because she has the blood, right? She's got part of that bloodline.
Just a little bit of it.
So I don't
And
know.
I'm surprised that the stone hasn't made. Well, Baez is barely in this.
Yeah. I thought Baez would be a little bit more involved in this book.
Maybe in the next one. Maybe
I think in the next one
the
for
stone,
sure.
The stone will make an
You got
appearance
Sulfur.
again.
Yeah, I think next book for sure.
I think the goal of the next book is to get the peasants and Baez to break their strength upon each other, and then Galactus shows up at the very end with Bloody Nine and do something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not a very good prediction, but that's a prediction.
It's a prediction. We'll go with that.
I'm on board with that. Like that's what I'm thinking too. Is like Galactus shows up at the very end and does his Galacta things.
What's up, bitches?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he had deals with other kings and stuff under the table that never gets talked about. But then once it's revealed, you're like, oh, that makes sense.
That kind
and
of
blah blah blah. Yeah. Like I always thought like Galacta hiding the Bloody Nine on purpose to kill Baez later is something he would do. Like, because that's his long game is he hates Baez, right?
I wonder how...
Whoever's read the side story thinks we're idiots right now, though.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I'm wondering, because as far as I know, he took on a different identity. He went further north and he adopted a family and became a farmer. But like, how did Galacta find him?
Yeah.
No, Galacta's Galacta, man. Galacta does.
I don't think Galacta gives a shit about anything happening north of.
No, he doesn't give a shit about that, but he cares about what his objectives are. So that's the reason why.
He reminds me. Who's that guy from? Who's the bald dude in Game of Thrones? The Master of Spies guy, who just had people spying on everything.
Varys?
Yeah.
He reminds me of Varys. If Varys had his balls still.
Well, basically,
Galacta, I don't know if he has
trade
his
the
balls.
crippleness with the having intact genitalia.
Yeah. But he's very Varys-like because he's just
got spies. Like, I mean, well, Vic,
he's got spies. He's got people
great.
watching.
Vic, I'm surprised Vic kind of stuck with things as much as she did after Galacta left.
Oh, we need her for the next book.
I know, but like she was only really loyal to him, and then he's gone. But she was like, "No, I'll stick to this."
I mean, where's she gonna go? You know,
that whole thing is about that she needs to be loyal, right? So makes sense that like with nothing to do, she just kind of does what she was doing anyway.
You want to fucking say hi or something?
Hold on, ready?
Man?
Listen to this old fucking man meow. You done being a dick? God, this guy's at my feet, just like biting my toes, trying to get attention.
Put him in a box.
He's a hungry kitty man.
Just fucking ate.
Well, he didn't like the quality of the food that you served him.
Yeah, that was first breakfast. He would like to move on to second breakfast.
It's 11th now.
Yeah, 100%.
I still have never watched those movies in their entirety.
Like, do you mean like you've watched all the theatrical versions and you just haven't watched the extended versions?
I don't think I've watched any of the original Lord of the Rings movies in their full format. Like I've watched
kind of wild.
I've watched them in like bits and pieces, and I think I can probably put it together from that. But I've never actually like sat and just watched one. The only
We
ones
just
I've seen
lost-
are the Hobbit
Embarrassing
movies,
for
and
you?
those were terrible.
we just lost one
All
of
the
our
Hobbit
3
movies are bad.
followers.
Yeah, all our
Yeah.
followers left. All our
Yeah.
listeners
Yeah.
are like, this is
What?
garbage.
This
This guy's
this guy-
trash.
This guy's
I
stupid.
have been meaning to actually like read the books, but it's just like
The books are very long.
Well,
They're-
we have to
they're-
decide on the next
They're
book.
good. They're good. They're hard to
Chris,
get through.
we already decided on the next book.
I swear to God, if it's another Magic 2.0 piece of shit,
I mean, yeah.
You're not wrong. No.
Burger, you want to start
Yeah.
our own little book podcast? Just you and I.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Since we choose good books.
Yeah.
So funny.
I have been thinking about it. I was gonna push for The Lies of Locke Lamora or
I do have
Ninja
all those
Wizards.
books.
I
What
was
was that
going to say the second Red Rising book.
Yes. Fuck yes.
Burger's like,
I'm so down to read that again.
So there's
Dude, that book was good.
there is this new Star Wars book. Well, new old Star Wars book.
No, 100% no.
It was a Legends
we're already shutting
book
it down.
that never got
It's not happening.
published.
It's not going to happen, man.
You guys hear that noise?
Could you inform me on what it is?
It's the sound of disapproval.
Got to decide. What are we going to do? How are we going to do this?
I say we just everyone write down the name of a book on a piece of paper and we'll just flip a coin right here.
Random number generator.
I need to get
We'll
the
just-
dartboard the little dartboard so I can just toss it and see where we land.
Oh man, I would
There
love
was
that.
an
Just so I could see you like poke holes in your own wall. You have to do it backwards.
Just have a
You gotta do it
bucket. Just have like
backwards
a constantly refilling bucket of spackle up there, so I can just keep patching up the wall.
No, you got to leave the holes. You got to leave the holes. That's the point. So you
There
put
was-
put them on post-its, and then you got to throw it backwards, but you can only aim through the webcam.
Just be like, eh. Hold on. There was also the Malazan Book of the Fallen.
It's the Wheel of Time.
No.
I read the first 3 books of the Wheel of Time, and like while I don't have anything negative to say about the books, I have no interest in continuing the series.
Okay, so Gardens of the Moon it is.
Guardians
Yeah,
of-
I
know
guess
if that
I've had enough time after
Gardens
the
of the
first
Moon
time
is the
reading
first
it.
book of Malazan Book of the Fallen.
You're
Or we
giving
can
them
do-
long books.
Or we can do book 2 of Red Rising or book 2 of Magic 2.0.
Well, we can never do
I'm all-
that.
I'm
That's
all
off
for
the
Red
table.
Rising. I like that series.
Big as Gardens of the Moon.
Gardens of the Moon.
That's a 10-book series. I don't know why I'm like shocked by that because
Okay, so like,
Dresden Files is like 16-book series, so whatever.
yeah,
Even,
so these
it's
are all
18 books now, sir.
Yeah. So Malazan Book of the Fallen is like it's so good as a series. And like but it's so weird to read and it's not until you get into like the 9th book that the whole series comes together. It's so weird.
You just destroyed the selling point of the entire series.
You're
No, no,
asking
no,
me to
no.
read 9 books to get to the good stuff?
Listen, you don't no, it's not that there's so much good stuff in these individual books.
But it doesn't
It's
all
just
come
like,
together.
By the 9th
Yeah.
book?
It's
Jesus
so
Christ.
dope. It's so like it. My mind was actually like blown while I was like finishing up the series in the 10th book. I'm just like,
Spoilers!
oh, my fucking.
Spoilers!
Dude, when I got to book 9, I was like, fuck. Book 1
Well,
through
like-
8 though.
It's alright.
book,
Kind of a drag.
well, like so, like it's so weird because like you'll read like the first like the first 3 books are all in like kind of like in this one little area, and then book 4 just pisses off to the other side of the world, does a completely different book for a while, and then
Also,
it isn't
the
until,
books
like,
get
another
longer and longer as you progress through the series. Like the
yeah,
first book,
1000%.
like the first book is like the length of these, and then
Yeah, 600
the second
pages.
book is double the length.
It's a long boy. It would be a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. That's the only reason I've been so hesitant about it. That and I've just finished it recently. Well, like a year and a half ago now, I guess. It'd be fun for me to go back at this point. I think I'm ready to go back. But I think if we just wanted to read like an actual like S tier like modern classic fantasy novel, we should do like The Lies of Lacamora.
But isn't that a whole series?
It's 3 books, but they're not that long. They're like 24 hours a piece, I think I was looking at. Um, but I think, or there might be a 4th book coming out, or it might have already come out. Um, but they're
Oh wow, I didn't realize the first book was that long. 752 pages. I thought it was shorter.
it's a like I don't know. The audiobook has it at 22 hours and 1 minute. Um,
The Gentleman Bastards series.
Gentleman Bastard series. It's a heist series. Like every book is like basically a heist movie.
I do love heists. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the selling. That was the selling point when somebody told me about Liza Lockmore. I was like, oh, it's a heist book. Okay.
I do love me some heists.
It is a fantasy heist book. The fantasy elements of the book are almost unimportant, I guess I would say. Like it's mostly background, except for like one plot point in the first book. Like none of our main characters can do magic or anything like that. They are just thieves, as well as like secret priests of a god of thievery. Like I don't know. I think it's a very, very fun book.
I'm trying to see if it's available from the library.
Feel like
Okay.
this is a discussion we should have had prior to recording.
Yeah, but
This portion of the
we're bad at
podcast,
things.
yeah, this portion of the podcast is literally me half the episode.
I think.
I mean,
well,
you're
that's
not
fine.
wrong. We're almost there.
Yeah,
I think it's funny watching people try and like pick something. I don't know. I like the debate, trying to sell things.
We can just be like, leave it in the comments, guys, and then we'll never get anything because we don't have that many viewers that comment.
True. 100%.
I got one person who comment on the video where I did the intro in German, and he was like, "Man, I'm glad I stuck past 47 seconds because I thought it was in German and I was gonna leave."
that's funny.
Oh.
There was a brand new series. and I
So
can't
Dagger in the
remember-
Coin?
Is that the Red Rising book?
No, Dagger in the
No.
Coin is the one written by one of the two authors for The Expanse.
Oh,
So
it's an
sci-fi
Expanse
book?
It's a high fan. Well, not even high fantasy yet. I think it turns into high fantasy later, but it's so far fantasy. It's.
Okay,
I don't think you or Nate would like it, Chris. I think it would be too slow for you guys, especially the first book,
Right.
because it's a whole lot of setup.
All right, I figured it out. Next book is going to be The Lies of Lacamora, book 1 of the Gentleman Bastards.
Lies.
Okay,
of
so
Lackawanna.
so book
Yeah.
3 of the Jack Reacher series, Tripwire. Okay.
Picking random books now at this point.
Listen, I picked the book that we were already talking about.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
This
You
one
sold me
You-
on.
you-
You sold me on.
when you said
on
it-
heist.
Yeah, you're
can't see it.
completely overexposed, man.
Yeah, you sold me on heist, so I'm cool with it. But I do want to get back to the Red Rising series.
Didn't you finish it?
I mean, I finished it, but you guys
You're
haven't.
like, I want to
finished
discuss
it.
it with you guys.
And I do want to reread it, so it's on my
Golden
want to
Sun
reread.
is the second book.
Yeah.
So the Gentleman Bastard sequence, book 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Lies of
The Lies of
Locke.
Lies, Lies, as in
Yeah,
lying
I'm a
to
liar.
you.
Lying.
Loch Lamora, 2 words.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
Locke as
is with an
in-
E at the end.
Yeah.
I get it.
Do you though?
No, not really.
Okay.